My phone blares an emergency alert. The sound claws into my brain, sharp, mechanical, intrusive. I jolt up from the couch, nearly knocking over my half-empty coffee. The TV hums softly in the background, frozen on some late-night rerun. I grab my phone, heart pounding. The notification glares at me. Emergency alert, National Response Agency. If you see a black van parked outside, do not approach. Do not engage. Do not look for too long. I blink. Read it again. The words don't make sense. A black van? Why? What's the threat? No context, no explanation. Just a cold, absolute warning. I lower the phone and glance at the window. My apartment sits on the third floor of a dull, concrete complex. A single streetlight flickers outside, casting long shadows over the empty road. Everything looks normal. Still, my pulse thrums in my throat. I get up, moving slowly, deliberately toward the window. My breath fogs the glass as I lean in. And there it is. A black van, parked directly across the street. It's unmarked. No logos, no license plate. The windows are tinted pitch black, swallowing the streetlight's reflection. It doesn't rumble, doesn't idle. Just sits, a shape that shouldn't be there. I scan the sidewalk. No driver, no movement, nothing. A creeping unease curls in my gut. I check my phone again, searching for more alerts, but there's nothing. Just that single warning. I tap the screen, refreshing news apps, scrolling social media. People are talking, some are joking, some are confused. At Jen_K, WTF is this alert? Black van? At user 5623, bro, there's one outside my house RN. At emergency_updates, National Response Agency has issued an emergency bulletin. Citizens are advised to remain indoors. Do not approach unidentified vehicles. There's a video. Shaky footage from someone's bedroom window. A black van, identical to the one outside my apartment, parked in an empty lot. The camera lingers on it for too long. The air in the video feels wrong somehow. Like the space around the van bends, distorts. The person filming whispers, "It's just sitting there." Then suddenly the video glitches. Static bursts across the screen. When the footage returns, the van's side door is open. The person filming gasps, then the clip cuts off. I swallow hard. A sound makes me stiffen. A soft click, 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 like something metallic shifting, coming from outside. I force myself to look again. The van hasn't moved, but the feeling in the air is heavier, pressing, like it's aware of me now. My hand twitches toward my phone. I should call someone. The police? A friend? But before I can dial, the screen flickers. The signal bars vanish. No, I whisper. The power stays on. The TV keeps humming in the background. But my phone? Useless. I stand frozen, listening. The city outside is dead silent. No cars, no voices, no distant hum of life. Just the dim hum of the streetlight. The van remains, waiting. The emergency alert repeats, vibrating in my hand. Same message, same warning. I back away from the window, my breath coming short. Something tells me this isn't just an alert. It's a rule, one I can't afford to break. I don't sleep. I try, but every time I close my eyes, I feel it, that thing outside. Not just the van, something inside it. Or maybe the van is the thing. I don't know. I don't want to know. The emergency alert hasn't updated. No news broadcasts, no sirens, no sign that anyone is doing anything about this. But I'm not alone. Social media is still alive with people asking the same questions, posting blurry photos of identical black vans outside their homes. Some say there's moved closer. Some say they saw a door open. Some say someone knocked. I keep scrolling, fingers numb against the screen. My apartment is dark, except for the glow from my phone and the blue light of the TV, still playing the same late-night rerun I never bothered to turn off. The canned laughter feels like mockery. Outside, the van hasn't moved. Not an inch. I force myself to get up, stretch, do something normal. I turn on the faucet, splash cold water on my face. In the mirror, my reflection looks pale, eyes ringed with exhaustion. I grab a glass from the counter, fill it, and take a slow sip. A knock at the door makes me choke. It's not loud, just a soft, deliberate tap, tap, tap. I freeze, glass halfway to my lips. The knock comes again. I don't move, don't breathe. My phone vibrates violently in my hand. A new alert. Do not engage. Do not acknowledge them. My stomach twists. I take a slow step backward. The knocking stops. I wait. Seconds stretch into minutes. My ears ring with the weight of the silence pressing in. Finally, after what feels like hours, I force myself to move. I creep toward the peephole, pulse hammering in my throat. I hesitate. Then slowly I look. A man stands in the hallway, directly outside my door. Or at least, I think it's a man. His back is to me. His head tilts slightly as if listening. He wears a dark hoodie, sleeves too long, fingers hidden. His posture is too stiff, too unnatural. Like a mannequin posed mid-thought. I don't move. I don't breathe. The emergency alert's words echo in my skull. Do not engage. Do not acknowledge. I step back. I don't know if he heard me, if he knows I'm watching, but I don't risk it. I move away from the door as quietly as I can. The TV flickers. I whirl around. The screen distorts, colors warping, audio bending into a low, droning hum. The actors on screen, people I've been ignoring for hours, are staring at me. Not at the camera. At me. The laugh track cuts off mid-giggle. The screen glitches. For a split second, an image flickers, so fast I almost think I imagined it. A van. A door slightly open. A void inside, swallowing the streetlight's glow. Then, the screen snaps back to normal. The show resumes like nothing happened. I grab the remote, turn the TV off. The silence that follows is worse. A sharp, metallic click 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 comes from outside. I rush back to the window. The van is still there, still unmoving. But something's different. It takes me a second to realize what. The driver's side door was closed before. Now it's slightly ajar. A sliver of darkness inside. Not normal darkness. A deeper black, like light can't escape. My hands tremble. I step away from the window, close the blinds, lock them, as if that will make a difference. My phone vibrates again. I don't want to look. I know I have to. A new alert. Do not look inside. I grip the phone so hard my knuckles go white. My heartbeat pounds in my ears. The walls feel smaller. The air feels thicker. Another knock. This time from the window. I don't check. I can't. I sink to the floor, back against the wall, fingers tightening around my phone. My mind races, trying to make sense of it. Is this an invasion? A test? A cover-up? No answers. Just that damn alert. I sit in the dark and wait. The city outside is dead silent. No sirens. No cars. No wind. Only the van. Only the waiting. I don't check the window. I don't check the door. I keep my back against the wall, my fingers locked around my phone like it's some kind of lifeline. My breathing is too loud. I try to slow it down, but every inhale feels like it might give me away. The knock doesn't come again, but the silence is worse. The van is still out there. I know it is. Even without looking, I can feel it, present, like a weight pressing against the edges of my mind. The air in my apartment is thick with it, a tension that won't break. I check my phone again. No new alerts. No updates. Nothing explaining what's happening. Social media is still flooded with people talking about the vans. At Karen_J, is anyone else hearing the knocking? Like they're trying to get in. At NotDead_Yet, black van is still outside. No one in it. At least I think. Don't know anymore. At Silent_Roads, someone please say this is a prank. The news won't report it. Cops won't answer. What is this? No answers. Just fear. I stand up on shaking legs and move toward the kitchen, my socks making no sound against the floor. I need water. Something to make my throat stop feeling so tight. The kitchen window has no blinds. I don't want to look, but my body betrays me. My eyes flick toward the street. The van is still there, still unmoving. But the door is open wider now. No, not wider, closer. It's like I can see more of the opening without the van actually moving. The angle is wrong. Impossible. My stomach clenches as I stare at the blackness inside, that absence where something should be. A new thought enters my mind. What if it's not a van? The word doesn't fit anymore. Van, car, vehicle. Those words imply structure. Metal, an engine. But the thing outside my window, it isn't a machine. It doesn't belong on a road. I take a step back. The floor creaks. The shadows inside the van shift. I whip around, heart hammering. I don't check again. I grab a knife from the kitchen counter. Not that I think it'll help, but my hands need to be holding something. I need to feel ready. I move back to the living room, turn off my phone's screen to keep it from glowing. The only light now comes from the street lamp outside, a dim, flickering orange. The shadows stretch long, too long. A chill spreads through me as I notice something. My shadow. It's stretching toward the window. No, not stretching, pulling. like something is tugging at it, dragging it toward the van. The darkness outside seems heavier, more solid, and my shadow is bending unnaturally, twisting in ways it shouldn't. I step back. My shadow follows, but slower, like it's caught in something. A whisper fills the room. Not words, not a voice, just the suggestion of sound, brushing against the edge of hearing. My ears strain, trying to make sense of it. The whisper grows louder. My phone vibrates violently in my hand. I glance down. A new alert. Do not listen. Do not respond. I clutch my head, squeezing my eyes shut. The whispering is coming from everywhere and nowhere, seeping through the walls, the floor, the air itself. The streetlight flickers again. When I open my eyes, I see it. The van has moved. Or maybe it hasn't. Maybe I have. I don't remember moving closer to the window, but I'm standing right in front of it now, the blinds half open. My breath fogs the glass. The van's door is wide open. A figure stands beside it. No, not a figure. A shape. It has no face, no features, just an outline, human shape but wrong. Its edges blur, shifting like static on an old TV screen. It's watching me. It has no eyes, no mouth, no expression, but I know it's watching. I stumble back, slamming my shoulder into the wall. My phone slips from my grip and hits the floor. The whispering rises, pressing into my skull, making my vision pulse with each sound. I crouch down, grab my phone with shaking hands. Another alert. Do not make eye contact. My lungs seize. I squeeze my eyes shut again, heart thudding against my ribs. The whispering intensifies, wrapping around me like a pressure in the air, pushing against my thoughts. I keep my eyes shut. I don't move. Minutes pass, or maybe hours. Time feels stretched, distorted. Eventually, the whispering fades. The air lightens. The pressure lifts. When I finally open my eyes, the window is dark. The streetlight outside has gone out. I don't check the van. I don't check the door. I sit on the floor, knife clutched in my hands, staring at nothing. I am being watched. And whatever is outside, it is waiting. The apartment is too quiet. Not normal quiet. Not the kind of silence you get in the dead of night when the world is asleep. This is something else. A wrongness in the air. Like the sound has been sucked out of the space around me. My ears ring from the absence of noise. I stay on the floor, gripping the knife, trying to slow my breathing. I don't know how long it's been since I last moved. Minutes? Hours? Time doesn't feel real anymore. My phone vibrates against the hardwood. The sound is sharp, too sharp. I flinch before I dare to check the screen. Another alert. Do not interact with compromised individuals. I stare at the words, my mind struggling to process them. Compromised individuals? Who? Something taps against my door. Not a knock. A light, deliberate tap. I stop breathing. The tap comes again. Then a voice. Hey, can you let me in? My stomach drops. I know that voice. It's my neighbor, Daniel. The guy from 4B. We've barely spoken more than a handful of times, just awkward nods in the hallway, polite small talk about mail mix-ups. But I recognize his voice. Except something's off. It's too clear, too smooth. The way the words leave his mouth, it's too even, no hesitation, no natural rhythm. Like someone playing a recording at the perfect pitch. I don't move. Another alert pops up on my phone. Do not respond. Do not open the door. Do not acknowledge them. The words blur as my hands start to shake. I tighten my grip on the knife, my throat dry. The door handle rattles. I jolt backward, pressing my back against the wall. My heart slams against my ribs. Hey, Daniel's voice again. Too calm. Too patient. I know you're in there. Just let me in, okay? No, something's wrong. I remember the first emergency alert. The warning about the vans. Do not approach. Do not engage. Do not look for too long. Now this. Compromised individuals. I squeeze my eyes shut, pressing my palm over my mouth to keep from making a sound. I don't know what happens if I answer him. I don't want to know. The doorknob rattles again. Harder this time. Then silence. I wait. Minutes pass. Maybe longer. The apartment is still. My ears strain for any sign of movement. I reach for my phone again, keeping my breath shallow. My fingers are stiff, my grip unsteady. I unlock the screen, check the messages, check social media. People are talking. More than before. At user 9901, my sister was outside for like 10 seconds. She came back different. Keeps saying she's fine, but I don't think it's her anymore. At Job, they talk too normal. They blink too much or not enough. They knock, but they don't leave. At Nor_silent, Mom left the house and came back. She smiled at me. Mom doesn't smile like that. My blood runs cold. I crawl forward slowly, careful not to make noise, and press my ear against the door. Silence. I exhale shakily and sit back against the wall. Maybe he's gone. Maybe. A soft rustling sound comes from the gap beneath the door. Like someone is sliding something underneath it. My body locks up. My mind screams at me to run, but I don't move. I can't. A piece of paper appears, pushed through the gap at an agonizingly slow pace. I hesitate, then force myself to reach out. My fingers brush against the paper, and I pull it toward me. The writing is neat. Too neat. I see you. A shadow shifts beneath the door. I fling the paper away and scramble back, chest heaving. The hallway beyond the door creaks, but the handle doesn't move again. No more knocking. Just the weight of presence on the other side. I don't sleep. I don't turn on the lights. I just sit in the dark, knife in one hand, phone in the other. Hours pass. Then, finally, as the first pale hints of dawn creep through the window, a new alert. They are still outside. Do not let them in. I don't move. I don't breathe. I wait. And outside, the van keeps waiting too. I don't sleep. The sky turns from black to gray. A slow, creeping shift. But it doesn't bring relief. The silence in my apartment is still wrong. The van is still outside. And Daniel, if that's even Daniel, is still standing in the hallway. I can feel him there. Or it. Whatever's pretending to be him. The slip of paper he left sits crumpled on the floor. The words I see you burned into my vision no matter where I look. My phone vibrates again. My breath catches as I glance down. Do not trust your eyes. A chill sinks into my bones. I force myself to move, standing on shaking legs. I feel hollow, like something has been slowly siphoning pieces of me away while I wasn't paying attention. I clutch my phone tighter. My fingers are ice. I need to do something. Anything. I turn the TV on. Not for comfort. I just need noise. Something to remind me I'm still here. The screen flickers to life, filling the room with static for a brief second before an infomercial plays. Some too happy woman demonstrating a blender. It feels fake, almost like watching a dream. But at least it's sound. I move to the kitchen. My body is on autopilot now, going through the motions. Fill a glass. Drink. Breathe. Pretend like I'm not unraveling. Then, a noise. Not from the hallway. Not from the window. From the TV. I freeze, water glass halfway to my lips. The infomercial is still playing, but something is wrong. The woman is speaking, smiling, gesturing at the blender. But the sound is gone. Instead, static. A low, whispering hum beneath it, like 1,000 voices speaking all at once, too layered to make out the words. A shiver crawls up my spine. The woman on the screen turns her head. Just slightly. Just enough that it feels unnatural. Her eyes flick toward the camera. No, not the camera. Me. She's looking at me. The static rises. The whispering grows louder. The pixels of her face begin to warp, stretching, mouth widening. I lunge for the remote and shut the TV off. The room plunges into silence. The air is heavy, stagnant. I feel like I'm suffocating. Then, tap, tap, tap. I whip around. The window. I don't look. I don't look. The emergency alert still glows on my phone's screen. Do not trust your eyes. I clench my jaw, forcing my muscles to obey, forcing my body not to move. I count my breaths. 1, 2, 3. The tapping stops. A long pause. Then something scrapes against the glass. Slow, deliberate, like nails dragging over the surface. I squeeze my eyes shut. My lungs burn from holding my breath, but I can't help it. The scraping stops. Then, something knocks. Not at the window. At the door. I almost drop my phone. My grip tightens around it instinctively, like it's the only thing keeping me tethered. The knock comes again. Then, a voice. Hey, it's me. Daniel's voice. But it's wrong. Too flat. Too patient. Like whoever's speaking doesn't need me to answer. Like it already knows I won't. I stare at the door, willing myself not to move. The handle rattles. I swallow, throat dry as dust. Then, a new sound. Not from the door. From my phone. A vibration. Another alert. I glance down, pulse hammering. But it's not from the emergency alert system this time. It's an unknown number. No text. No ID. Just ringing. My hands shake as I stare at the screen. The call keeps going. I don't want to answer. Every part of me is screaming not to. But somehow my thumb moves on its own. I press accept. For a second, there's nothing. Just silence. Then, a whisper. Not a voice. Not even words. Just a faint, rustling sound, like someone standing just out of sight, breathing too quietly to hear. And beneath it, a soft click, 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 like a lock being undone. I pull the phone away from my ear, heart hammering. The call ends. The second it does, the doorknob twists. I run. Not toward the door, not toward the window. I don't know where I'm going. My body just moves, shoving through the suffocating air, toward the hallway, the bathroom, anywhere but here. The door creaks open behind me. I don't look. I won't look. But I can feel something step inside. The air bends. The silence hums. A new alert buzzes on my phone. I force myself to glance down. Do not run. My breath stutters. I stop. The air shifts. I don't move. I don't breathe. I feel it standing there. Not Daniel. Not him. Something else. Something waiting. A second passes. Then another. The door closes. The pressure in the air vanishes. The silence returns. I stand there, trembling, staring at my own reflection in the dark window. The van outside is still waiting. And now, I think I understand. It's not just waiting for me to approach. It's waiting for me to let it in. The door is shut. I didn't close it. I haven't moved from the spot where I stopped, where I forced myself to freeze after reading the alert. My phone is still in my hand, the screen dimming now, the warning fading. But the air in the apartment has changed. It's like stepping into a room where someone was just standing. That lingering presence, the space still holding their weight, the air still remembering them. I am not alone, but I can't see it. Or maybe that's the point. I swallow, forcing a breath into my lungs. I need to think, need to understand what's happening before I slip past the point of rational thought. I check my phone again, scrolling through the emergency alerts. No new messages. I switch to social media. People are still posting about the vans. At Fractured View. They don't need to come inside. They already are. You just don't know yet. At noexit_999. It's in the mirrors. It's in the static. It's in the places you aren't looking. At silent_now. Don't trust your eyes. Don't trust your ears. Don't even trust yourself. I set the phone down carefully. The apartment is too quiet again. But there's something underneath the silence now. A buzzing. Low, constant, just beneath the surface of hearing. Like the static from the TV had never actually turned off, just buried itself in the air. I move slowly, every motion deliberate. If I let my mind run, I'll panic. And I don't think panic is safe right now. I go to the bathroom. Not because I need to. Because I need a mirror. The words on social media, it's in the mirrors. That idea is rattling inside my skull. And if there's one thing I've learned tonight, it's that ignoring the warnings never makes anything better. The bathroom light flickers on. The mirror is fogged over. Not completely, not like someone just showered. But there's a film over the glass, making my reflection hazy, indistinct. I take a step forward. The buzzing sound grows louder. I reach out. The second my fingers touch the glass, everything distorts. The reflection warps, bends, the entire room stretching unnaturally in the mirror's surface. My own image lags like a glitching screen, my movements a second behind reality. I jerk my hand back. My reflection doesn't. My stomach drops. It's still reaching forward, fingers brushing against the glass, but I am not. I step back. My reflection snaps into place, mirroring me again. But too fast, too sharp, like something hurrying to correct a mistake. I swallow hard. This is wrong. I turn away from the mirror. I don't look at it again. I step into the hallway and nearly drop my phone when it vibrates violently in my grip. A new alert. Do not look at your reflection for too long. Too late. My chest tightens. I read the words again, my mind racing. I don't know what happens if I break the rules. I don't want to know. I force myself to move, to go back to the living room. I sit on the floor, back pressed against the couch, knife still within reach. My body feels detached, exhausted but unable to rest. I need to leave. That thought keeps pushing its way forward, rising through the fog in my head. I can't just sit here waiting. The van is still outside, but maybe if I... The TV turns on by itself. My breath catches. It's on the news. A reporter, sitting behind a sleek desk, hands folded neatly. His lips are moving, but there's no sound. The static hums beneath it all, pressing against my eardrums. Then the screen glitches. The image flickers. His face distorts, the pixels breaking apart. The buzzing sound in the apartment grows louder. Then suddenly, sound. No build-up, no warning. Just, are advised to remain indoors. Do not respond to anyone outside. Do not look at. The voice stutters, the words repeating. Do not look at, do not look at, do not look at. I grab the remote, try to shut it off. The screen glitches harder, the reporter's face breaking, stretching. His mouth widens. His eyes snap toward me. I throw the remote. The TV screen shatters into blackness. The buzzing in the room stops. Silence. I sit there, my breath coming in ragged gasps, my pulse hammering in my skull. Then a sound. A single tap at the window. Slow. Deliberate. I don't move. My phone vibrates with another alert. Do not look. Do not move. Do not make a sound. I press my lips together, forcing my body still. The silence stretches. Then another tap. And then, something breathes. Not outside. Inside. Behind me. I don't move. I don't look. The apartment is wrong. The air bends around me. I keep my eyes on my phone, waiting for another alert. Waiting for something. Nothing comes. But I know it's still there. Standing just behind me. Watching. Waiting. I grip the knife, my knuckles white. I don't know how long I sit there. Minutes. Hours. Time feels stretched, like something is pulling at the edges of reality. Then, a whisper. Not words. Just sound. Right next to my ear. I close my eyes. I don't know if it's real anymore. If I'm awake. If I'm dreaming. Maybe I'm already compromised. Maybe I let it in. I don't know how this ends. But the van outside is still waiting. And I am still here. For now. I wake up without realizing I had fallen asleep. The room is dim. Not dark. Just wrong. The light outside isn't the right color. A dull, grayish hue seeps through the curtains, like the world has been drained of something vital. The silence in the apartment is still thick, humming beneath my skin like an unspoken warning. I sit up too fast. My vision tilts. My body feels detached, like I'm moving a second after I think about it. I check my phone. The screen is blank. No notifications. No time. No battery indicator. Just a black, empty screen reflecting my own face back at me. Except, my reflection is smiling. I fling the phone away. It clatters across the floor, face down. My pulse slams against my ribs. I didn't smile. I didn't move. I scramble to my feet, every muscle in my body tense. My mind screams at me to get out, to run. But the van is still outside, waiting. I press my back against the wall, heart hammering, trying to think, trying to breathe. A sound stops me. Soft. Close. Coming from the phone. A voice. My voice. Whispering. I stare at the device lying face down on the floor. The voice is muffled, but I know it's mine. Too identical. Too perfect. You let it in. I go cold. You let it in. The whisper loops, repeating itself. I don't move. I don't breathe. Then a vibration. A new emergency alert. My hands shake as I pick up the phone, careful not to look at the screen until I absolutely have to. Finally, I force myself to read the message. Do not respond to your own voice. My breath catches. The whispering stops. The screen flickers. A second alert pops up beneath the first. Do not speak. Do not answer. Do not acknowledge it. I clutch the phone so hard my fingers ache. My throat tightens. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how much of me is me anymore. I back away from the phone, leaving it on the floor, as if distance will make a difference. The silence stretches. Then, a knock. Not at the door. Not at the window. The bathroom. The mirror. My stomach twists. I already know what I'll see if I go in there. A reflection that isn't mine. A mouth that moves when I don't speak. A thing that is waiting, waiting, waiting. I squeeze my eyes shut, fighting the pull. The wrongness in the air is pressing against me, pressing through me. I need to leave. Now. I grab the phone again, avoiding my reflection in the screen, and inch toward the window. The van is still there. But something's different. The doors are open. I feel like I'm going to be sick. I can't stay here. I can't leave. There's no right answer. I shut my eyes, pressing the heels of my palms against them, as if that will help reset something. As if that will bring back the world I knew before. Then, my own voice. Directly behind me. Hey. I stop breathing. My body locks up. Hey, it says again. It's okay. You can look. No. No, I won't. The emergency alert. The warnings. Do not respond. Do not acknowledge it. But it's so close. I feel breath against my neck. It shifts. Moves. Steps around me. I stare at the floor. At my feet. And another pair of feet join mine. I bite my lip so hard I taste blood. Then it kneels. Brings its face level with mine. I don't move. I don't move. I don't. The phone vibrates violently. Another alert. It knows you can see it. My stomach drops. The thing pretending to be me exhales softly, amused. Then it whispers, "You should have run sooner." Something cold brushes my cheek. I snap. I lunge forward, away from it, away from whatever is crouching beside me. I grab the knife from the floor without thinking, stumbling toward the door. The apartment warps around me. The walls breathe. The shadows stretch. The van doors are still open. Waiting. I don't have a choice. I run. My feet hit the hallway. The air outside is dead, thick with an unnatural stillness. The other apartment doors are closed. No movement. No sounds. I don't stop. The stairwell looms ahead, dark and endless, but I take the steps 3 at a time. Behind me, a laughter that doesn't belong to me. It doesn't chase. It doesn't have to. It already let itself in. The bottom floor is empty. The lobby is empty. The world outside is gray, colorless, unreal. I step into it. The van is waiting. The open doors beckon. I hesitate. Something in my gut screams at me to turn around. To go back. To never go back. I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know if I've already lost. But I keep moving. I step toward the van. The air shifts. The world bends. And then, everything goes black. The blackness isn't just dark. It's empty. A vacuum. A silence so complete it doesn't just swallow sound, it removes it. Like sound was never a thing that existed in the first place. I am floating. Or falling. Or not moving at all. I don't know how much time has passed. Seconds. Hours. I try to breathe, but there's nothing to breathe in. No air. No sensation. No sense of body or space. Then, a voice. Not mine. Not like mine. You shouldn't be here. I don't respond. I don't think I can. Then a shift. A pulling sensation like something is dragging me forward without touching me. And suddenly, I am somewhere else. I hit the ground hard, gasping, lungs burning. The impact rattles through my body like I've been dropped from a great height. My vision tilts, my mind struggling to catch up. I push myself up on trembling arms. I am in a room. Not my apartment. Not anywhere I recognize. The walls are black, not painted, not made of any material I understand, but black in a way that makes my brain ache. Like looking at a shape that shouldn't exist. The only light comes from a row of old televisions stacked against one wall, screens flickering with static. The only sound is the buzzing, the same low hum that's been following me since this started. Then the screens shift. Images stutter into focus. My apartment hallway. My front door. My window. The black van. I stagger to my feet. The cameras. They're watching me. Or they were. But I don't know who is watching now. A new screen flickers on. It shows me, sitting on my couch, back turned to the screen, unmoving. A cold dread locks my body in place. I don't understand. I'm here. So how? The image shifts. The me on the screen turns its head. Not all the way. Just enough. Enough to show that it knows. Knows I'm watching. Knows I've seen. Then the screen glitches, warps, and the thing in my apartment smiles. My breath catches. No. No, I left. I ran. That thing is not me. I clutch my head, trying to make sense of it, but the more I think, the more I feel my mind coming apart. Then, the televisions all go black. A new voice. Not mine. Not human. A sound like static forming words. It fits. The air goes thin, stretching, warping, pressing down on me. It wears you well. I don't want to understand what that means. I don't want to know. But I already do. I left. But something stayed. Something filled the space I left behind. And nobody noticed. Not even me. Not until now. The room tilts violently. The walls fold inward. The televisions flicker back to life, but the screens show only eyes now. Staring. Watching. Endless. I can't stay here. I run. The room shouldn't have a door, but suddenly it does. I don't stop to question it. I push through and step into a street. The air is heavy. The sky is wrong. The buildings stretch in impossible angles. A world that looks like mine but isn't. Everything is still. Too still. Like the whole city is holding its breath. I turn in a slow circle. No cars move. No people walk. But the van is still there. Waiting. Its doors are closed again. But something about it is different. Something new. A person stands beside it. Not a person. A shape. A figure in black, too still, too sharp, the edges of it glitching, flickering in and out of the world like bad reception. It doesn't have a face. But I know it's looking at me. Waiting. I take a step back. The world shifts again, like a broken signal, like reality itself is trying to correct something that shouldn't be here. Then, my phone buzzes. The sound makes me jump, sharp and unnatural in the absolute silence. I pull it out with shaking hands. A new emergency alert. But it isn't like the others. The text is garbled, breaking apart as I try to read it. Then one sentence clears. You were supposed to stay inside. The air goes thin again. The figure by the van moves. Not a step. Not a walk. Just closer. Too fast. Too sudden. I stumble backward. Another alert. They will correct this. The buzzing spikes turning into a deep, electric hum that I feel inside my bones. The figure takes another non-step forward. Now it's standing directly in front of me. My mind screams. I move to run, but my body locks up. The thing in black tilts its head, observing. I can't breathe. I can't move. Then slowly, it lifts a hand. The fingers are longer than they should be. They reach for my face. And before I can stop it, it touches me. Cold floods my body. Not cold like winter. Cold like absence. Like being erased. I feel my heartbeat stutter. My mind flickers. And then, I wake up. I am sitting on my couch. The TV is off. The air is still. Normal. Like nothing happened. Like nothing was ever wrong. I blink. I exhale slowly. I look at my hands. They are steady. No sign of the cold. No sign of the van. No sign of. I stop. I get up. I walk to the window. I look outside. And the van is still there. Waiting. I don't move. I don't breathe. The van is still there. Like it never left. Like I never left. Like none of it happened. But it did. I know it did. I can still feel the cold touch on my skin. I can still hear my own voice whispering back at me from the phone. I can still see the flickering, broken shape standing in front of me. Except, that never happened, did it? I sit back down. Slowly. Carefully. The silence in the apartment is too thick. The kind that presses in, the kind that waits. I grab my phone. No alerts. No messages. The last thing in my inbox is from 2 days ago. I check the emergency alert log. Nothing. Not a single trace of anything. I swallow, staring at the blank screen. Then I do something I shouldn't do. Something wrong. I open my camera and turn it to selfie mode. My reflection stares back at me. I study every detail. The shape of my nose. The slight asymmetry in my lips. The mole under my left eye. But I don't feel like I'm looking at me. Something is off. Something I can't place. I stare for too long. And then, I blink. And my reflection doesn't. I freeze. The breath catches in my throat. My reflection sits still, unblinking, as I grip my phone tighter. And then, it smiles. Not a normal smile. Not a human one. Something wide. Wrong. Something practiced. Like it's been watching. Like it's been waiting. I drop the phone. It lands with a thud face up. I don't pick it up. I don't move at all. The silence grows. Thickens. Then, a sound. Not from the phone. Not from inside the apartment. From outside. A car door. The van. It opens. I'm at the window before I realize I've moved. I can't help it. I have to see. The back of the van gapes open, a hollow space darker than anything should be. And something is stepping out. A figure. No, two. They move wrong. Too smooth. Too slow. Like gravity doesn't fully apply to them. Like they're adjusting. One turns toward my building. I swear it looks straight at me. I stumble back from the window, heart slamming into my ribs. My phone buzzes. I don't want to look. I don't want to, but I do. I pick it up. One new emergency alert. I open it. It's different from before. No bold warnings. No direct orders. Just a simple message. You don't belong here. I can't breathe. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they mean me. Then, a knock at the door. Soft. Careful. I freeze. My apartment door is locked. The hallway should be empty. No one knocks here. Another knock. 3 taps. Precise. Even. I don't move. I don't make a sound. I wait. Seconds stretch. Then, a third knock. Louder. They know I'm here. My phone buzzes again. I flinch, heart pounding as I glance at the screen. A new message. Do not open it. I swallow. My mouth is dry. The doorknob rattles. Once. Twice. Then, silence. I stand there, body locked in place. I should run. I should hide. I should do something. But I don't. I wait. Minutes pass. An hour. Nothing. The air is heavy. Wrong. Finally, I take a slow step toward the peephole. I know I shouldn't. But I do. I press my eye to the glass. And there's nothing. Just the hallway. Empty. Like no one was ever there. I exhale shakily. Maybe they left. Maybe. Then I see it. At the end of the hallway. A figure. Standing still. Facing my door. No face. No features. Just watching. And then, it tilts its head. And takes a step forward. I back away from the door, every muscle locking up. My phone buzzes again. I don't want to look. I don't want to see. But I have to. I glance down. One new emergency alert. I open it with shaking hands. This time, it's only 2 words. Run now. I don't think. I run. The door is locked, but I don't stop to undo it. I rip at the deadbolt, fumble with the chain. My hands don't work right. Everything is slipping. My own body feels wrong. The knob twists from the outside. I shove my weight against the door before it can open. My breath is too loud in my ears. The peephole goes dark. Something is standing there. My phone buzzes. I nearly drop it as I lift it to my face. One new emergency alert. I open it. It's already inside. My stomach drops. No, it's outside. It's still in the hallway. I turn and see myself, sitting on the couch, watching me, not moving, not speaking, just waiting. The face is mine, but it isn't. The shape is right, but the details are wrong. Too smooth, too still, like a photograph brought to life. My legs lock up. My throat tightens. The door behind me rattles. The lock clicks open. The thing on the couch tilts its head, like it's studying me. My mouth moves before I can stop it. What are you? It doesn't answer. It just smiles. And suddenly I understand. I shouldn't be here. It should. I feel it all at once, like a memory I was never supposed to have. I left that night. I ran. But something stayed behind. Something filled my space, my shape, my absence. And now I'm the mistake. I was supposed to be erased. The door swings open. I don't turn. I don't want to see what's behind me. I take a step backward. The thing that looks like me stands up. It's still smiling. The air bends. The apartment warps at the edges, like an old VHS tape breaking apart. I feel something pulling at me. Not a hand. Not a force. A correction. A fixing of something that went wrong. I take another step back. I feel the world glitch. My legs go weak. Then, the television turns on. Static. Endless. The sound fills the air, deafening, drowning everything out. And through the white noise, a voice. Not mine. Not anyone's. Just a whisper inside the static. Don't fight it. I collapse. The room is breaking apart. I am breaking apart. The last thing I see before everything goes dark is my own face, watching me, smiling. And then, nothing. I wake up. My apartment is quiet, still, normal, like nothing ever happened, like nothing could happen. I am sitting on the couch. The television is off. I don't remember falling asleep. I blink. My body feels fine, normal. I exhale slowly. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I stand up. I walk to the window. I look outside. The van is gone. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. It's over. Whatever it was, whatever happened, it's over. I glance at my phone. No emergency alerts. Nothing at all. I almost laugh. Just stress. Just paranoia. I shake my head and step away from the window. Everything is fine. I go to the bathroom. Splash cold water on my face. I don't know why I feel strange. I look up. My reflection stares back. I watch myself. Wait for something to be off. But there's nothing. Everything is fine. Everything is. I blink. My reflection doesn't. My stomach twists. No, that's not. I don't move. It doesn't either. But then, it smiles. A slow, practiced smile. like it's been watching, like it's been waiting. I open my mouth to scream, but my reflection lifts a hand and turns off the light. Emergency alert. No further action is required. All errors have been corrected. Resume normal function.